I was dehydrated, without strength, with my body shutting down and the circle of hyenas closing in around me. I couldn't scream. I couldn't get up. I was already resigned. Then a presence appeared that altered the rules of the Savanna and did something that, to this day, I find hard to explain without it sounding impossible. My name is Daniel. I'm not a hero and I'm not some thrill seeker. I was just a guy with a camera and a stupid idea. One more minute, then I'm back at the Jeep. That day we were on a guided tour. Rules for everything. Don't get out, don't wander off, don't walk alone. But then I saw it. The perfect shot. The sun dropping low. Tall grass glowing gold. A single tree cut into the horizon like a silhouette. I thought, if I get that photo, I've got it.
Just 1 minute.
I told the guide I'd be quick. 1 minute. And that's what doomed me. I only walked a few steps, maybe 20, maybe 30, just enough for the Jeep to still look close, but not enough to be safe. The heat had been draining me since early morning. I'd barely had any water because you tell yourself you can handle it, and because I was embarrassed to ask for another stop. I crouched to steady the camera, and I felt the first wave of dizziness, the soft kind that warns you. Something's wrong. I stood up fast, looked back at the Jeep, wanted to turn around. But the second wave wasn't soft. The world tilted. My hands broke into sweat. I couldn't get air. And then a hard, dull odor against the ground, like someone flipped a switch and shut the lights off. I don't know how long passed. A minute. 10. When I came back, I didn't come back all the way. My throat felt tight. My tongue felt heavy. My chest rose and fell slow, like I was breathing through a blanket. I heard the wind. And then something else. A sharp click, like teeth snapping together. And then that sound that hits you right in the gut. That horrible giggling laugh, close enough to feel. I tried to open my eyes. This time I managed just a crack, and I saw shapes moving. Dark blurs all around me. Not people, not dogs, hyenas. There were several. They weren't attacking. Not yet. They were doing the worst thing, waiting. One stepped a little closer and sniffed the air, like it was measuring the distance. Another paced in a slow circle. Another stopped right where my vision kept fading to black again. I wanted to scream. I wanted to lift my arm. I wanted to do anything, but my body felt like stone. And that's when a cold, clear thought hit me. If I pass out again, I'm not waking up. A hyena moved in behind me. I didn't see it. I felt it. The grass shifted, the air changed, and I heard its breathing, short, fast, almost excited. My heart started pounding slow but heavy, not from strength, from fear. And then something happened I didn't expect. One of them made a sharper sound, like a signal. The others answered. The circle tightened. I was in the middle with no strength, no voice, no one. I could barely move my fingers, but I did the only thing I could. With the tips of my hand, I started feeling across my chest, searching for my radio. I had it hanging on me, somewhere. I touched plastic, I touched fabric. The radio was there, but my hand didn't have enough strength to press anything. And then, like the world wanted to finish me off, I heard something worse. A low growl, deeper, heavier, bigger. Not a hyena. The hyenas went still. They didn't run. They didn't bolt. They just took a step back, like someone walked into a room and everyone instantly knew who was in charge. I felt the ground vibrate, heavy footsteps, total silence. And when I finally managed to focus a little, I saw her, a lioness, emerge from the dark grass, walking slowly, no rush, no panic, like she owned the place. She wasn't charging. She wasn't frantic. She was certain. She stopped a few meters from me, looked at the hyenas, then looked down, at me. I thought, that's it, now I'm done. Because if the hyenas didn't kill me, a lioness could in seconds. But she didn't. She took one step and placed herself between them and me, like my body was something worth protecting. The hyenas started circling her too, ears twitching, calculating, waiting for a mistake. The lioness didn't roar. She just turned her head, claiming the space with her eyes. And lying there, I started to understand something that didn't make sense. She wasn't hunting. She wasn't playing. She was guarding. One hyena tried to creep in from the right. The lioness snapped her head, bared her teeth, fainted once. The hyena stopped dead. Another tried from the left. The lioness turned again. She didn't need to fight. She only needed to say, "Not here." I tried to lift my head. My neck trembled. My vision blurred again. That's when the lioness lowered her muzzle and nudged my shoulder gently. Not like an attack, like a wake-up call. Like she was saying, "Up." The radio was pressed against my chest. She sniffed it. And then something happened that I still struggle to say out loud without sounding crazy. She pushed it with her muzzle toward my hand. I felt the plastic shift, felt the weight slide into reach of my fingers. I don't know how, but I pressed the button, just once. A weak little click. And the only thing I managed to force out of my throat was air and a horrible sound. But the button stayed pressed long enough. From far away, very far, I heard a distorted voice answering back. I didn't understand the words, but I understood the tone. They had heard me. The hyenas heard it too. And they grew restless. The circle began to move again. One hyena, the boldest one, stepped forward. And that's when it happened. The lioness roared. It wasn't a movie roar. It was a roar that goes through your body, steals your breath, reminds you that you are nothing. The hyena backed away, but it didn't leave. And then I saw something that froze me. There weren't 5. There were more. Hyenas behind us, almost camouflaged, waiting, coordinating. The lioness shifted to cover me better. She turned sideways like a shield. Her tail lashed the grass, tense. I thought, if they attack as a group, not even she can handle them all. And then I heard the most beautiful sound in the world. Engines, lights, flashlights sweeping through the darkness. The rangers arrived fast. They moved like trained people. In formation, no shouting, no rushing to the center. The flashlights lit the scene, and for a second, no one understood what they were seeing. A man on the ground, hyenas around, a lioness standing over him like a guardian. I saw the tension in their bodies. I knew what they were thinking. We have to drive her away. One raised his hand, ready to fire a warning shot. Another searched for an angle, and that's when a different kind of fear hit me, that they would kill her for saving me. I tried to speak, but only a groan came out. The lioness instead did something incredible. She didn't move toward them. She didn't attack. She just stayed there and still, as if saying, "He's mine. Don't touch him." The rangers signaled to each other. One changed his tone, lowered the direct beam, pointed the flashlight to the ground. Another made a short, soft sound, trying to calm the situation. Then the lioness looked toward them, and then she looked at me. That second lasted forever. Finally, she took a step back, enough for them to reach my body. They wrapped me in a blanket. They lifted me as if I weighed nothing, like a child. The world began to spin again, but this time toward life. As they carried me, I managed to turn my head. I looked for the lioness. She was there, in profile, motionless, watching. And when our eyes met, I didn't see a beast. I saw something familiar. The rangers made noise to scare the hyenas away. They left, not because they wanted to, but because they understood. We lost. I was already on the stretcher. My eyes were closing. But before I passed out again, I saw the lioness walk away slowly, without running, without looking back, as if her job was done, At the base camp, with an IV in my arm and my pulse stabilized, the guide asked me something that chilled me. Had you seen that lioness before? I didn't answer at first, because yes, weeks earlier, on another trip, I had seen a lioness with a trap on her leg. She was hiding, limping, unable to hunt properly. The rangers had tried to track her, but it was difficult. That day, I was the one who spotted the trail. I was the one who insisted we go back to look for her. And I saw how once freed, she didn't run right away. She stayed for a second, as if memorizing faces. I never thought that second would come back. Months later, I returned, not out of curiosity, out of gratitude. We went back to the same place at dawn. The guide told me not to get my hopes up. The Savanna doesn't work that way. But I saw her, in the distance outlined against the orange light, walking calmly. And the best part, she wasn't alone. She had two cubs with her. She stopped for a moment, looked in our direction. I don't know if she recognized me. I can't swear it. But I swear that in her posture, in that calm, there was something that seemed to say, live, that was all. Since that day, whenever someone asks me why life can change in seconds, I always give the same answer. Because 1 minute more can destroy you, and an act of instinct and compassion can save you. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss an amazing rescue or an incredible story about animals and people.